Hey y'all. So as I record this, I'm in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. So far, Maddie, Sabrina, and I have traveled almost 1,400 miles in 3 days. My plan was to get south quickly as possible to get out of the cold weather for a bunch of reasons, not the least of which is that I can't have water in the lines in really cold weather in the van. So we left Denver on Saturday, December 27th in the afternoon after a wonderful lunch at Gladys Restaurant in the Edgewater Public Market with George and Andres. Highly recommend Gladys. It's Gladys. So we got to Amarillo, Texas, fairly late the night of the 27th. So mostly I got to experience the smells of Northwest Texas. But the thought of all that stuff really just bums me out. Then the second night, Sunday the 28th, we were in Natchitoches, Louisiana. It does not sound like it looks. But both campgrounds and had restrooms and clean showers, so it was fine without water in the van. And I did have a few single gallon jugs of water for drinking and light cleaning. Then last night, Monday the 29th, we arrived in Ocean Springs, Mississippi, where I rented a VRBO for a couple of days. The wind has been relentless. The cold front has been chasing us all the way from Denver. We got slightly ahead of it in Louisiana, so we went to bed at like in 70 degree weather with the window open. But eventually the cold front hit us and the wind just like jostled the van and made for a pretty not that restful night. And the temps dropped like 35-40 degrees, so it got chilly too. A few firsts and notes just from the trip in general. I've been learning the whole vehicle a lot. There's still lots of more buttons to push, but I'm just figuring it out. Putting DEF in the van. I've never had a vehicle that required diesel exhaust fluid, so there you go. It wasn't challenging, but it was a new deal. Trying out the Starlink in the van for the first time. I just laid it on the dashboard. It worked pretty well, but it had some obstructions, so it was getting some interruptions. Also, unfortunately, discovering some new issues in the van. As many of you know, I had a factory defect electrical problem that had me taking it back to the dealer for almost a month, and now it seems like there might be some other issues potentially as an outcome of that electrical problem. For example, I could not get the fridge to come on. It's throwing an error, so I'm going to troubleshoot that while we're stopped here in Mississippi. Amarillo was my first night sleeping in the van, so just learning like to juggle my sleeping accommodations with the girls. My tailbone is more sore than I thought. You might know I fell over a month ago and bruised my tailbone, and all this sitting is really kind of aggravating it. Hey, I listened to a book called In This Economy by Kayla Scanlon. It's definitely worth a listen. She breaks down a lot of economic ideas, for us mere mortals. And I mean like macro, economic ideas, not like your budget. Also mostly listened to a documentary called Dreams of a Life about a woman who died in her apartment and wasn't discovered for 3 years. And she wasn't like this old crazy, shut-in cat lady or anything. Like, she was a young woman. It's really worth watching. The girls have done great. That bench seat that also doubles as my bed has seatbelts, so they're strapped in, but they can still ride comfortably. So that's kind of it for those first few days. I'll do an update in a couple of days and fill you in on Ocean Springs, Mississippi.